Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the Moving Roots podcast, a JUNIVIS podcast brought to you by JUNIVIS. So, it's just me today. Typically, I'll have a guest on that we can have a conversation with and hear their stories and everything. But since it's the first episode and it's just me, this is going to kind of serve as an introduction. So, who I am, what this podcast is going to be about, why I want to start it, who I'm going to talk to, all that stuff. And I'm not sure if I've made it yet, but if I have, then here is where the music intro comes in. Yeah. Welcome to the Moving Roots podcast, a JUNIVIS podcast brought to you by insert sponsor name here. So, to get things started off, my name is Acer Santos Jr., and I am a producer and cinematographer based in Los Angeles. My production company, JUNIVIS, specializes in short form media, so music videos, commercials, short films, all that kind of stuff. And we've been running for a little over 2 years now, I think. We kind of started at the beginning of the pandemic and, just ran through it over there. Me personally, I started as a camera assistant and then moved up to operator, Steadicam more specifically, and then started DPing more, and then and started producing, DPing, and directing here and there. So it's kind of the origin of me, the very basic origin of me. I'm sure there's going to be an episode in the future where I talk more about the deeper origins of everything, but this is just introduction to see what this is all about, and so you kind of know who's talking in your ears right now. And that's just a little bit of background information on me and the company. But I guess the reason I want to start this and what this podcast is about, actually, start with that. What it's about is having conversations and talking to my friends and other people in the creative industry, the entertainment industry, not necessarily just the film industry. And, just talking to them, hearing their stories, and finding out why they started this, why they started doing what they're doing, if they still have the same goals, if they've achieved their goals, if they have new goals now, and, what kind of started everything. And I kind of wanted to have that conversation with other people because I've been having that conversation a lot with a lot of people recently. And just kind of talking to them and finding out a lot more about them personally, because you don't really know people that much. And these conversations come kind of few and far in between. And I feel like they should happen a little bit more. And, having talked to some people, I've definitely heard some stories and some experiences that are similar to my own. And I don't know, just hearing it is kind of inspiring. It kind of makes, relights that flame that I had at the beginning of doing all this. And I think sharing those stories is kind of a good idea, because, who's going to hear it? Who knows? I mean, maybe it could be someone that hears it and it's kind of that catalyst that sparks some kind of inspiration and maybe flips a switch for them, or maybe they hear a story from somebody that they can relate to and just kind of gives them that extra push to kind of do what they want to do, whether it be in the same field or different field. And another reason is because I kind of touched on it, but hearing those stories and just getting those experiences from other people, seeing where they started, is pretty inspiring for myself too, just to hear it. And it's also interesting because I feel like in the entertainment industry or just the creative fields in general, it's really easy to get lost in the work side of things, because at the same time, the industry is all creative industries are so based on, the quickness, the pace, because content is consumed so fast now. And I feel like it's so easy to get lost in just the hustle culture of everything. And, that works for some people, but for me personally, I wanted to start doing this stuff because it felt like art. It felt like it had meaning. And I feel like with art in general, there's the power behind it, the power behind the medium, whatever medium it is that it can make someone feel a certain type of way, whether good or bad, or make them feel an emotion. And I feel like that's the real big power. And because, we do this as work, it's easy to get lost in the hustle of it. And, because we all have to make money, we all have to make rent, we all have bills to pay. So, it's easy to forget and get lost in the hustle culture of everything and forget why we started this in the first place. And I feel like having the conversation about it, like reflecting on why you started and what got you started, is kind of a chance to look back and remember what was the first initial spark that started everything. When I was talking to other people about it and hearing their stories, they kind of had the same reaction. It's like there's a billion things going on every single day, a billion things going on every week, and there's so many things to think about. So it's kind of hard to just focus on what kind of started everything in the first place. So I think just talking about it, bringing it back up, and just looking at it and taking a step back and looking at what we all did in the creative industry before we quote unquote made it, is just kind of a cool thing to look at and can kind of reignite that first spark of joy and everything that made this all possible. It's like having the conversation with other people serves as inspiration to myself and to them and to hopefully other people that listen to it and can relate to it, and gives people someone or something or some story to look at and be like, hey, that's real similar to me. Maybe I can do the same shit. Because, that's kind of what it is. It's like having someone to look up to, having someone to relate to. Yeah, I think I covered most of my points, though. Told you who I am, why I want to do this, what it's about, and I guess more about the people that I want to bring on. So yeah, I want to start it with just people that I know. I feel like that's basically what it's going to be, because it's easier to talk to people that I know already. And yeah, just talk to people that I know and kind of hear their stories, hear where they came from and their origin stories, if they're willing to share their experiences and their hardships and everything. And just get to know them a little bit more, because, at the end of the day, I feel like this is just a cool opportunity to have a conversation and talk to someone that I don't know personally that deep, and just kind of make that connection, build that connection. Because a lot of people I work with are like my best friends, and we do get very engulfed in the hustle of everything, and the moving and the hustle bustle of everything, because there's just always so much stuff going on, because we have to. And I just want to be able to take a step back and talk to them as people and hear how they are as people and what kind of made them who they are. And I feel like in the future I'll make an episode about myself, because I definitely have my own goals and aspirations that extend farther than having a production company that does commercials and makes money and blah blah. Because definitely have more goals and achievements, I guess, or I have more things that I want to speak on, that I'll probably eventually put into another solo podcast when I get a little more comfortable with this. And that's kind of everything for this little intro. I think one of my first guests is probably going to be my real good friend Logan Mize. He is a director and cinematographer, also based in Los Angeles. He is from Kansas, and he owns a lot of camera equipment. I know a lot of people are really interested in that. He has 3 very adorable pugs. And yeah, he's just like cool dude. I talk to him pretty much every day. We golf all the time. And I just realized I haven't really talked to him too much, like in depth, about what started his career and like how he's here and how he's from Kansas, but now he's here. Like, that's crazy. That's a story that's like intense. Like, I sometimes feel like I shouldn't be here, because like I grew up thinking that I should be a nurse or a lawyer or something. And just hearing that someone from Kansas is now living in Los Angeles and doing it and like, very successful is really cool. And I actually don't know the story too well, and I'm actually a little bit excited to hear that story. So if you are too, make sure you listen to that episode. I'm going to talk to him soon, hopefully be able to do that. We are currently in a really big heat wave in Los Angeles, so I don't know if that's going to be anytime soon, because the other thing with this podcast, why I called it Moving Roots, is because, one, the metaphorical, philosophical reason, burping. Sorry. One, the metaphorical whatever thing is, it was kind of based on that idea that we're all moving and hustling so much all the time. And, while it's all moving, like, what are our roots? Just kind of like remembering what started it all, what our origins are, why we did this in the first place. And, sometimes those roots move. Sometimes you grow more roots in different areas because, like, you reach one goal, or maybe your goals changed, or maybe other situations changed. And yeah, just as it's moving and going. And the other reason I named it that is because, like I said, I usually have these conversations with people on really long car rides. And, it's just, well, we're moving. And I want to have these podcasts based out of the back of my van when I get it back. It's currently in the shop. But yeah, I want to have them based in my van. So I'll drive to whoever, or I'll pick them up. We'll get food, and then we'll open up the back of my van. It's a little camper van. And then, just set up this podcast, have a conversation, and just talk in whatever space it is. The audio hopefully is going to be fine. I have no idea. But I've just kind of always want to do that. It just sounds like a cool idea to go outside, and, it's not contained into one studio environment right now. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do that. Logan Mize will be the first one. And, yeah, it's kind of why I named it what it is. I think I'm kind of stuck with it now because I already did that and I made the Instagram page. I felt like I wanted to change it, but we'll see how things go. And I think it's a cool name. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out the branding and everything. It's part of our job, so we'll figure it out. But I think that's everything that I want to talk about today. And if you guys have any questions or anything, you can send me a message on Instagram or an email or whatever. I don't know. Just because, I don't know how podcasts work and how feedback works. If there's comments or something on podcasts, then maybe I'll find out, like on Spotify or Apple or something. So we'll figure it out. But for now, that's everything. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully it wasn't too rambly for my first time around. And we'll see you on the first podcast, the first official interview podcast with hopefully Logan Mize. Not sure. I've got a couple other people I've talked to about this with. So we'll see. We'll see if they are down and if Logan has time for it first. But we'll get a couple of these episodes rolling and filmed and posted on your favorite streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, or Apple Podcast. I don't know all of them yet. I'll figure it out, but it'll be posted there. And thank you for tuning in. I'm going to stop rambling now, and we will catch you on the next episode of the Moving Roots Podcast, a JUNIVIS podcast brought to you by JUNIVIS. Peace out. That was absolutely long as shit. Holy fuck. I think I was rambly, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Figure it out.